blues with a laugh in my eye. Shades of wonder got me on a high. We spin stories in purple and gold. Girls got colors nobody can hold. We mix it up, we make it new. Splashy and bold, that's how we do. Running on fun, we won't slow down. Paint the town, turn it upside down. Push out my favorite traffic jam. Color like a fool, yeah, you know who I am. Dreams on the canvas, magic in my head. Painting out loud, I don't care where I live. Like a fool, splashing wild, breaking the rules. Like a fool, like a fool, like a fool. Every line, every you. Welcome to the dream team, the brush out crew.
You, Lord, for steak on my table. Glory to your name for every bite so flavor. Seasoned with mercy, grilled by your favor. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord, for steak. Oh, oh, blessed be your name. Oh, oh, blessed be your flame. Sizzling joy, joy in every mouthful. Thank you, Lord, for steak. Oh, oh,
Yes,
blessed
indeed.
be your name.
Thank you for steak. Good morning, everybody. And the news has dropped today that we the people are finally getting the Gina Carano, Ronda Rousey face off. Fight. We're getting Cara Dune back, but in her earthly form. I am so excited, so happy for her. She looks incredible. Oh my gosh. Good morning, everybody. Welcome into the brush hour. Can everybody hear me? Can everybody see me? Toss, toss. It has been one heck of an evening, and I'm ready to go back to bed, to be honest with you. Oh, it was man, I was like wrestling demons or something last night. It was a rough sleep. But again, let me know if you can hear everything coming through. I played the steak because Leary prepaid for 2 steaks yesterday, and I only played it once, and then he ordered another steak, and so I owed him one. But yes, I am so excited. Gina looks so good. I mean, she always looks good, but like she's like heavenly tier now. She looks so good. Today is supposed to be about drawing Mortal Kombat characters, but I just had to come in here being like, let's just talk about Mandalorian and Grogu for just a second, which kind of lends into my drawing the Mortal Kombat characters. And it's also Hot Take Tuesday, so I do have some hot takes. Yes, of course, we all know that, Gina was let go from the Mandalorian all those years ago, and it was unjust. We've moved on. It is what it is. We don't like it. It's unfair. Whatever. It doesn't matter anymore. My hang up, starting off strong, starting off hot right now with the Mandalorian Grogu thing, is so many details. Number one being the title font for this film. What in the blue blazes of the 60s are we doing? Like what is this? What number one, that's already awful. But character design, oh my gosh, we're gonna get into it. But let me quickly just go off into our design from yesterday. And we were doing our sketches. Maria and I had an amazing, epic face-off. She cheated to some capacity. She paid off the referee. She somehow used her magic Canadian powers to influence the chat. I don't know. It's fine. It's okay. It's, what's done is done, and I'll let her have this win. The Canadians are suffering in the Olympics. I'll let them have the drawing for today. It's fine. Now, Maria is great. She's a great player, great artist. Give her a follow if you like art. Art is amazing. Anyway, my brain is a little bit foggy today, so I'm going to try to stay on track. Wish me luck. I'm trying to get all my stuff out of the way so that way we can focus on the art. The pinned comment, I have the link for my YouTube gaming channel. Last night I played Carried the Glass with Sevi, and we didn't get very far at all, but it was pretty funny. I want to let you know, 4 times it was Sevi's fault. The rest of the time it was my fault, but 4 times Sevi dropped the glass. So I have to point that out because she's darn near perfect at everything she does. And I have, good friends will love you and tear you down just a little bit and then boost you way back up. So that's where it was. But anyway, we're getting closer to 200 subscribers over on the gaming channel on YouTube. And so, if you enjoy hilarity, you should check out that channel. We laugh a lot. But good morning, chat, subscribblers. Hello. Unlocking Lore. Maria was here. Earlier saying, I have successfully enticed you to draw Mortal Kombat. Mission accomplished. And Spider says, let's effing go, Gina. That's right. Good morning, Lieutenant. And there's the link right in there. It's Stab of the Time, says Larry Knight, like a fool. Icanalus, good morning, good morning. Cole Hauser, good morning to you, sir. Mando says, heck yeah for Gina and heck yeah for the hot takes. That's right. I hope you guys brought your hot takes too. I agree with Fantastic. I will be cheering for Gina as well. No shade to Ronda Rousey, but I don't have any ties to her. Like I didn't really watch any of her fights. I know she's a good fighter, but I never really watched her fights. And to be fair, I never watched any of Gina's fights. I wasn't like huge into MMA and stuff. I'd prefer MMA over wrestling, but it wasn't like it was a staple in the household growing up or anything like that. Or even when I was, in my early adulthood where it was what I was keeping up with. I remember Ronda Rousey as a fighter and then seeing her in the Fast and Furious movie. It is kind of funny how Gina and Ronda got to be, in the Fast and Furious franchise at different points in time. That's pretty cool. Oh no, Larry's still sick. Oh man, at least he slept. Well, I don't know. I fell asleep, I want to say around 11-ish. And then I think I woke up at like 1 or 2. And then I woke up at like 4 and 5. And then I woke up at like 7 and it was just like, what's the point? What even is the point? But I hope you feel better, Larry. Mountain Mutt, what's up? Good morning. Good morning. Cole Hauser says we will win hockey. I mean, is that even a challenge? go can. Yeah, but curling. I mean, no, honestly, it's rough. The Olympics. That in and of itself is a whole hot take. I used to adore and eagerly awaited the Olympics, Summer Olympics, Winter Olympics. I loved them all, but it's just not the same anymore. And I was talking with somebody about this recently. Cole Hauser, let me know if this is the same for you guys in Canada. But here in America, we have kind of, there are a lot of people that still enjoy watching the Olympics, and good for you. Good for you. But I know myself and several other people, we just lost interest because it did get political. But even when the politics came out of it, like that's kind of, so 4 years ago, where it's the lack of patriotism. I know that the ones that have been put in the spotlight don't speak for all of the Olympians who are proud to represent our country as the United States. But man, it does not, the Bible talks about a little leaven leaveneth the whole lump. And what it talks about is yeast. And that's a whole other conversation. But basically, if you put a little bit of yeast in bread, it will rise to some degree. It will. You can't not. Right. And so it's just talking about the influence, right? A little bit of influence influences the whole thing to a degree. And that just seems like a lot of Olympians and entertainers, like it's spread. The mind virus just spread to everybody, where it's like patriotism out the door. So it's like Olympians are competing for themselves, which they should because they've worked hard. But it used to be that they were doing this for themselves. They were doing this for their family. They were doing this for their country. And like that's a huge element of the Olympics, is supposed to be each country representing their country, not each country having a person who represents themselves as the best skier. That's not interesting, right? Because there are a lot of great people who are making great strides in different areas. But the thing that connects us to you is something that we have in common. I have nothing in common with a male skier who is skiing to prove that he is the best skier. Good for you, but You tell me that this skier's goal is to make sure that people know that America's the best at skiing. And I'm not saying we are the best. We're one of the best, but we're not, but you know what I'm saying? Like to prove that to have that within you that says, I'm gonna go out there to prove that my country is the best. That sense of patriotism is just kind of gone. And it makes it not as much fun. There's no relatability to the Olympians. I can't watch it, like watching skiers ski to represent themselves is just kind of, I don't want to say it's arrogant because they deserve to be where they're at, but there's no relatability. I can't relate to that. So it's just like, oh, another successful dude. Yay. I don't know. That's just, I think it's the same thing with football. For me anymore, it just got too commercial, got too political, and then it's just all about self anymore. I don't know. That part of the game last night looked way too hard for me. It was. Savvy's perfect at everything she does. I see she has you under her. Yep. Contractually obligated to say that Savvy's practically, not wholly, but practically perfect in every way. Good morning, Logical Spark. Mardi Gras. Oh, I wasn't aware it was Mardi Gras. I knew it was coming. I just didn't know when. It was not a family tradition that we observed. I watched both Gina and Ronda fight. Gina could have beaten her. This is what I've heard. Of course, when there was the Gina hype, I definitely watched every little video on YouTube that I could after I saw her in The Mandalorian. I'm like, who is this woman? Like, there was just something captivating about her. Iconic, legendary, interesting. And I remember they were doing this one video about how hard Gina punches. And so every fighter has something that's unique to them. And the one thing that I remember them pointing out about Gina is that scientifically, okay, this isn't like opinion or biased base, but scientifically, like they had her hitting a dummy, I think with her elbow, and that she is one of the few women in MMA who comes the closest to having the punching power of a male. That's incredible. She will break your face. Now, I forget what the poundage, how that works. I don't know the words, but basically, yeah, the getting hit with her elbow at full force was how much pounds, how many weight. It was significant. Like she could break your jaw with her elbow. It's just, I'm glad we're friends. Hello, Rogie. Good morning. Cole Hauser says, when it comes to the Olympics here, yes, we are patriotic, but that's about it. Our country is very small when it comes to population, so we only have so much. Winter sports is part of Canada. As it should be. Like you should play to your strengths, 100%. So the reason why, countries like Sweden and Norway, typically are good at the winter sports as well. And then you have places like, the countries like Jamaica and Uganda and things like this. They're excellent runners and whatnot. Warmer weather, the kind of situation. The great thing about, I would say, Canada and United States and places similar to us is that we have like all the different seasons and all the different terrains. And because we are both melting pots, we can represent in so many different sports, no matter where our origin story comes from. Because we do have, our melanated brethren, play in all of the different winter climate sports and everything like that. It's really, that's great. That's why I will say that, of course, as an American, I'm like, we're the number one, we're the best. But I will say, I think that's the advantage that places like United Kingdom, Canada, and USA have over the rest of the world is that I know people joke about it, but it's true. Like basically we they say it about America in any case, that we just steal from other countries and then put them under our own banner. And that's why we're so good at everything. I'm fine with that. I am totally fine with America being one of the elite forces in the world because people from other countries would rather be under our banner. I'm fine with that. So like I said, I think the UK, because it's quite the melting pot, Canada and United States, we have that advantage over a lot of other countries. Dang, Mardi Gras means I better get my Catholic booty to mass tomorrow. Well, or you could just get right with Jesus today, Mando. I'm just saying. I mean, that is always a biblical option. We have one baseball team and all hockey. Yeah, play to your strengths, play to your strengths. It's insane to think Gina, who's always so sweet, could beat every one of us up without a fuss. It really is. When I got to meet her in person, you just almost couldn't believe it. You just almost couldn't believe that she could tear your face off if she had to. Because she's so freaking sweet. she's, and that's a little bit scary if you think about it. It'd be like finding out Krista Nova could, like, assassinate you while you're sleeping, and never blink an eye because she's so sweet and girly and sweet. All right, girly and sweet. We've got our Kitana over here. We did our Luffy. One day we'll see if he deserves. But I was interesting going into the Mortal Kombat stuff where let me get my reference here. Going into character design and stuff like that. And I was talking about that with Mandalorian, and I mentioned that yesterday on Twitter when they released the trailer for The Mandalorian. And it was like, okay, this looks like it could be a snippet from the show from 5 or 6 years ago. There's really nothing new. It's all the same. There's not even a costume change. And somebody, commented and said, well, Mandalorians don't typically change, what he said something like old school Mandalorians don't typically change their outfits. And it's like, well, that's true. To be fair, Mando's not an old school Mandalorian. He breaks the rules when he feels they're necessary. But the other thing is too that Grogu, like nothing changes with Grogu. And I think as much, look, I've got me some Grogu stuff. I was on the kick when Grogu came out. I was a Star Wars fan before Grogu. I loved the element of surprise of bringing this adorable, mysterious character. But like, we're over it, right? We're over the cute little character. He's not mysterious anymore. He's just cute. I think that was the one thing that even adult males could appreciate about Grogu in Mandalorian season 1 was the fact that there was an air of mystery to it, because like, who the heck? What the heck? Is that Yoda's son? What is it? Right. And a lot of that's already been revealed. So it's like, there's no mystery, right? So now it's just cute, but there's been no growth. If he would at least age or learn to talk, whatever, but it just feels like another episode in the Babysitter's Club in Star Wars. And I think if Grogu could at least change in some capacity. Now, I didn't even watch season 3 and I heard it was atrocious. It's just, I don't want to be one of those people where it was like, yeah, I didn't watch it because Gina wasn't in it. That was one of the reasons. We were all burned pretty badly, but it also just didn't look interesting. And that was also when all of a sudden Star Wars decided that it was just going to do whatever it wanted to do. Now, all of that being said, going back to character design, this is not necessarily about production, but character design, where it's change something, make things more interesting again. That Cara Dune's character had subtle changes, because I do understand that not everybody needs to change drastically. Han Solo's outfits didn't necessarily change drastically, but there was an element of change because this introduces the idea of the passage of time, moral elevation or character arc and all this kind of stuff. And it can just be the subtle changes, the change of adding a jacket or taking away a jacket, putting on a belt. Cara Dune's character, her hair slightly changed. And when she became the Marshal, they softened her a little bit and they added some curl to her hair. And then, of course, they added the belt with the rebel symbol on it to indicate that she was also the Marshal. Just little things like that. Little things like that. Sometimes the little changes aren't the best. I remember some people were upset when they put the cowl on Megatron in the Michael Bay films. I think it was pretty cool. It was a little different. Was it necessary? Not really, but because they kept producing, they should have just stopped producing movies, but because they kept producing movies, you kind of need to change the characters a little bit. Otherwise it just runs stale. Unless it's a cartoon, but even in cartoons, things change just slightly. So all that to say, it's like Mortal Kombat. I'm a normie when it comes to Mortal Kombat characters and their designs and who they are and the lore. From what I understand in the games, there really wasn't a story. So that's interesting that they're trying to make these movies now have more of a story where there originally was none. I think I might need to change the way this hand is. Let's see. It goes more of a downward trajectory. And then thumb. And then this is where we get our change here. And we go down this way. Sorry, a moment of silence while the artist ponders. So that's really interesting. But, I was doing a little bit of research for today's show specifically where character design, we tend to go over the top. And I think that's where a lot of people are at now. And wanting to encourage other artists where character design, I am no professional, but when it comes to character design, sometimes the simplest thing is the most impactful. And the argument could be made that the designs for Mortal Kombat characters then versus now is way too extreme and not necessarily beneficial. There's something to be said when you leave details to the imagination when it comes to your character. When the video game came out, you had your little characters and they were simple. Give the Scorpion, for example, the black hood, and he's got like the wide shoulders with the yellow thing. And he's one of the most beloved characters of the entire franchise. He didn't give much in the way of presence, or I should say appearance, but he gave much in presence. He was powerful. He let the work do it for him. And now when I see what they're doing with the newer games and they're refining and they are crispinizing things and they're adding all these details and textures, that's cool because our games have developed so much when it comes to pixelation and clarity and all this kind of stuff. The elevated appearance, I mean, yeah, there needs to be something there, but there is something powerful in simplicity. And I think that might be getting lost in every evolution and every phase of Mortal Kombat, where they're just not letting the characters speak for themselves, but they're like, we're going to make him look cool so you think he's cool versus just letting him be cool. Kind of like a Clint Eastwood moment when he, in those old movies, would walk into a bar or walk down the road. And there wasn't anything necessarily special about his appearance, but it was his presence that made people walk off to the side. Just that, the iconic squint. I mean, he really looked like every other cowboy out there with slight differences because of the way he wore his poncho. And other than that, there wasn't much about him, but it was his aura. Your imagination filled the details of who this person was before you even got to know him. That was something I did like about Cad Bane in season 2, was it, of Mandalorian? I thought that was pretty cool, and then they killed him. So I see Krista more as gnawing on the ankles. I mean, if she had to, probably. I mean, I would. I'm a biter, if I have to. I might not. My motto in life when it comes to fighting is that I might not win, but you will walk away scarred. I will be remembered. I will be avenged. This movie is a few years too late. The Grogu hype train is done, and some people are. Excuse me. This movie. I can't. This movie is a few years too late. The Grogu hype train is done, and people are kind of over Star Wars at this point. This is true too, and they're really banking on the cutesiness. It's really sad. This could have been. I don't want to say this is the show that it could save Star Wars, but it was off to a great start. It inspired hope, is what that show did in Star Wars, and then they just. How does Kristen ever run out of energy? She must be nuclear. Oh, she gets tired. She's human. She gets tired like the rest of us. Come on, guys. Oh my goodness. We've had chats after the meetups and stuff like that. She's like the rest, but Krista does have a lot of energy. She does. She's got a lot of energy. Maybe she's just fueled by passion, love, and Pokemon. Okay, hot take. Street Fighter over Mortal Kombat. Ooh. Though both are great. See, I remember growing up that my brother, I think, played more Street Fighter than he did Mortal Kombat. I want to say we were part of the kids club that we weren't allowed to play Mortal Kombat, but I don't remember fully. I don't think we owned a Street Fighter game until later. It was the cool kids, our friends, who had these games. And I remember being at their houses playing these games, but I don't know. We were, we were very careful with what we let into the house. So we definitely were like a Mario Sonic, Toe Jam and Earl, kind of people. What was that? Cobra something. It was a war game, but you were the helicopter. Oh man, that game was addicting. And really loved that game. And oh gosh, we had a lot of games. We had a lot of the Disney games, like Lion King, Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin. We played that one a lot. And then, of course, as time progressed, then introduced us to the N64. And that just launched into a whole new era, like Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. I loved that game so much. So much. I'm a biter. Yeah, I'll bite your face off if I have to. I mean, obviously, that's the last resort, but that's it's what I'll do. It's what I got. It's what I do. I will bite you. Let's see here. Let's see. We're gonna do something like this. No, but Mortal Kombat versus Street Fighter. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I think they all have their own unique characters. Wasn't let me see here. Hadouken, is that his name? Forgive me if I'm wrong. He was in Street Fighter. Guile was in Street Fighter, right? What was the like Hindu Indian guy that could stretch really far? Was he in Street Fighter? I might be getting my characters mixed up. And then Chun-Li, she was Street Fighter too, right? I don't remember. Maybe. See, I'm a normie. I don't remember. Hot take. Did I ever beat the Lion King? Of course not. Did anybody ever beat the Lion King? Hot take. The Mortal Kombat fatalities go on too long in the newer games. I have heard this, and it brings about the argument that the fatalities used to be something that was, what do I say? I wrote it. I have it written down where it wasn't. Like you said, it's too long. Let me find this really quickly. Where it was a good conversation about the fatalities. This is about the artwork. Fatalities used to mean something. Early fatalities were shocking because they were rare. Now they're a spectacle. When you first see your fatality as a kid, you thought it was something that you weren't allowed to watch. Exactly. It was a spectacle. Well, it was a shock value kind of thing. Now it's just expected and it's not really special anymore. And I think they're like a lot of horror movies from what I've heard from horror fans. It's getting old because it's predictable. And now they're just relying on the shock value of the gore rather than the coolness of the move. So yeah, I don't think you're far off with that from what I've heard from fans. Yeah, Aladdin, it was actually, I found out of all of the Disney games that we owned, Aladdin was the easiest one to play. We played that one the most. Dahaism, that was his name? Hadoken, you mean Ken and Ryu? Hadoken was their fireball. Oh, see? I remember Hadoken. I just didn't remember if that was the name of the green guy. I have him on my Fortnite locker area. Thanks to Sperry1618 for the follow over on Kick. Dollism is the stretchy guy. Hadoken was a move, not a character. Too bad, because that sounds like it'd be a really cool character. Yeah, Ryu. I don't know how you pronounce these. Stretchy Indian. Yeah. New Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat movies are coming out this year. I haven't even seen brown looks good on me. Well, of course it does. I'm a neutral color palette. But what are you talking about? I'm wearing yellow. It's Yellow Flash's shirt. Pay your artists. Appreciate all the people that do pay their artists. You pay me for work. I appreciate it. What do you mean brown looks good on me? I don't know what that means. Oh, okay. All right. So we clearly played a lot more Street Fighter, and I was introduced to Street Fighter more often than I was Mortal Kombat. I think, like I said, we were part of the kids club that we weren't allowed to play Mortal Kombat. Actually, that resonates. I'm unlocking a whole new set of memories. I remember my brother when he got his first Mortal Kombat game, and my mother was iffy about it. We were older teenagers by that time, and she was like, okay. But it was against her better judgment, I should say. Shout out, Mom. The irony is that, I mean, my brother played it, but it ended up not being like his favorite game. My brother ended up being more of a Halo aficionado. The music, the games, the books, that was where my brother's heart would be. Blanca, there, thank you. I have Blanca in my Street Fighter. Okay, you need to get your eyes checked. Guys, would you say that this is brown? This is not brown. There is, you know, the colors to create brown. Look, my shirt. Let's see if we can find it. I'd say that's kind of the color. Maybe a little bit brighter. Yeah, right there. Look, Nomi, this is in the yellow family. Hang on. You get your eyes checked. Could be your screen too, but yeah. Okay, maybe a little bit more orangey. Yeah. All right, orangey yellow. Okay. This is definitely not beige either. Yeah. All right. Beige, guys, is going to be in here. Well, maybe not that. It's a little too dark. Okay, that's your beige. I'm not wearing beige. What are we doing? Yeah, it is kind of a mustard color. I don't mind being a brown coat, but it's not a brown shirt. All right, here we go. Thanks, Noe. Oh no, she's gonna start the controversy of the internet. You guys remember it was the gold and white dress versus the blue and black dress all over again? Oh my goodness. I'm thinking of a second project, Tabitha. Thanks again for the My pleasure. Hit me up. You got it. I am full for the rest of the month. I might have some openings in March, but currently I am at capacity. So thank you. Thank you all for supporting the artistic ecosystem. That's what you guys are doing. All right, let's lock it in again here. It would need to be up like that. Excuse me. All right. And then she needs some fingers, you know, as we all do. We tend to need these things. Oh man, I think I've made her finger too big. Let's see. No. Let's not panic just yet. Hang on. So Kitana, I don't know really. I've heard of her. I remember, you know, people playing as her and stuff like that, but I don't know much about her. Her weapon seems to be these fans. Yeah, that's believable, right? Yeah, it could be Nomi screen settings. It's so infuriating when especially as the artist, when you put all of your thought and energy into color palettes and stuff like that, and then you post it online, and maybe somebody else will show it to you, or you look at it on your phone, you're like, dear God, it's not the colors that I wanted it to be, and you just have to let it be what it is, you know. Hey, Irish Jedi, the shirt is blue. You're wrong. You're wrong. Life on Marshmallows. Good morning. We do. Oh, I should make some Firefly characters. That'd be cool. Yes. It's that one's definitely a lot more. Good morning, Maria. We talked about you earlier. And we did. You know, whatever we talked about is between me and the chat. Sorry. Unless you want to go back and watch everything, but you know. We were talking about how little I know about Mortal Kombat, and apparently I know more about Street Fighter. Not by much, but some. The Patrick McCartney. Hello there. Welcome in. Oh my girl. Okay. So I think she's coming along pretty well. Her feet need some work here, though. Let's see if we can redo these boots. Okay, so it kind of curls down. Let's see if we can't. And then curl up again. Come in. Oh, that's a lumpy foot. All right, we started with something, but I think her leg is too thick, maybe. Well, hang on. This way. Nope. I know. Hang on. Go in. Excuse me. Going in like this. And then we'll redefine the shape. Kind of like sculpting a little bit. You add, you take away. Something like this. We're getting a little bit closer, but it's still not quite as elegant. I think her foot maybe was too long, maybe. Some women have long feet. It's fine. My mom would always say she, when you have a size 13 foot for a woman, but she'd always say that she could withstand, how would she word it? Like something like God gave her big feet so that she wouldn't fall over in a windstorm or something like that. I think that's what her mom told her to try to allay her fears from having big feet as a woman. It looks a little bit better. It's still not great. So I think this needs to, why is this so small? There we go. All right. It needs to be more commanding. I know that sounds really weird, like a heel that commands, but there is something to be said about the harsh lines in certain areas that they mean something. So this is like it comes down more. Still kind of off, but maybe we need to come back. So her boots kind of go over. Yeah, over here. So it's fine. Get over here. Okay. Yeah, I'm not really thrilled with this. I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong. Shoes might be on my list of things that I need to get better at. I think I've gotten quite a bit better since my early Cardoon days, but it's still out there. Yeah. I don't know. The pose, that's the thing too. I've changed a little bit of the pose of the leg, so that makes a difference too. And so I'm trying to make one kind of reference fit into another one. So let's just try to use our knowledge of what we've learned to try to, let's just erase the whole thing here. I've given her very thick legs. I've given her some Gina legs, and I don't think that's working. So not everybody can pull them off. Well, we'll maybe revisit. That's a little bit better. Did I say something nice? Slightly. I like the conversations here and the characters. Thank you. I appreciate that. We try to have good conversations. Bolder lines, lead. I say lead. July Max, hello. Oh, ooh. I like your avatar. I am struggling at the moment to remember his name. It's, oh crap. We used to play that game all the time too. How do I not remember his name? It'll come to me. Hang on. What is his name? It's I used to love that name. Mega Man. Thank you. Yes, Mega Man. We loved that game. It's been so long, I totally forgot. I'm surprised that hasn't been turned into like a TV show. A lot of these like superhero movies and the Mortal Kombat. Why isn't this a TV show or something? I feel like, and maybe they won't make as much money, but I think they could for longevity. But everything's about quick money. And you like to paint as well? Excellent. Excellent. I think I was getting him Mega Man confused with the green guy. I forget what his name was too. All right. So yeah, I've kind of changed the pose for the foot over here too. We're doing Kitana from Mortal Kombat, or at least we're attempting to. Mega Man was a cartoon and it was a disaster. Only the opening song was worth it. Yeah, hopefully we could come a long way and do that. But there was no, not Link, not Blanca. Sorry. No, he was made out of green balls and he shot a gun and it was kind of in the fashion of Mega Man, but he was a green guy that was made, and he could when you unlock different powers, because he was made out of individual balls, he could do different things. I think he could at one point turn into like a helicopter or whatever. What was that name? What was that game? I'm gonna have to text my brother. Hang on. For the science. I'm gonna text my brother. Let's see. Hey, what was the name of the green ball guy from the video games you used to play? He wasn't Mega Man. He was... Let's see. He shot... Let's see. He shot guns and could turn into different things when you leveled him up. It was on the Sega, or the Genesis, excuse me. Of course, my brother is a hardworking man, so let's see if he takes the time to... There it is! Oh, man, where were you 3 minutes ago, John the Just? Vector Man. Let me see if this is the right guy. Vector Man? Yes, it's Vector Man. I bet you my brother will know instantly. He just knows how to retain this information. Thank you, Vector Man. Mega Man is franchise. Yeah. No, it's not Metroid. No. Metroid's not green. Insomniac says you should do a drawing of Gina and Rousey face to face. There's so many things I have to draw. Don't think I didn't think about it, but I just don't know. Vector Man, he got it. You nailed it. He never disappoints. I thought it was Smooth the DJ. What? He's not made out of green. I kind of like this elegant foot here, to be honest. Adds just a little bit of class to the character. Not saying she doesn't have it, but it kind of adds a little something. Little bit of femininity. Just a little bit. It's so funny. So funny that he just always knows. He just knows. He always knows. I need to get him back on the art party. Here we go. Okay. All right. So I think I like how we're going so far. There we go. Clean up a little bit. Be looking for a new poll for the members, the subscribers, the members, and the patrons this weekend for new art. I really enjoy the fact that you guys participate in helping me with character creation for the channel, and it's going to be great. I think, what was it I was going to do? Mario. It's going to be Mario themed. So, yeah, no. Oh, no, no. Don't tell her that. Pretty sure she ain't afraid to know. Rovid. You know, I I thought it'd be kind of fun since since I'm drawing. I found this. You go to the mortalkombat.com, and it's really cool. Like it gives these character descriptions. So I figured let me read up a little bit about Katana and Katana, Princess of Outworld. Katana has one purpose in life: to aid and protect her older sister, Melina, as she prepares to rule Outworld one day. The steady-handed Katana ignores the calls of those who advocate that she should replace her impulsive sister as heir. Instead, Katana will defend the realm by fighting to make Melina the best empress possible. She will also fight to hide the dark secret that could end her sister's reign before it begins. What is her secret? I need to know. Does anybody know what Melina's dark secret is that could keep her from and where the heck is Outworld? I would need to know. This seems important. And why Kitana seems like she has really long hair, whereas the version that I'm looking at, she has short hair. I'm gonna assume that she's had some phases. Am I doing her hair wrong? Also, let me know. Have I am I doing her hair incorrectly? Should it be longer? Which is going to devastate me because this looks really great over here. But if I need to make her hair longer, please let me know because I don't want to mess. I don't want to mess our gal up over here. Mo, the real Mo Zamboni, Mo Hollywood. How are you? Have you seen Melina with her mask off? She's the lizard woman, right, or something like that. She's the purple version of this? Is that what I'm asking? Is that the Outworld is the subsection of Toronto, Canada. It's where Maria lives. That's why Mortal Kombat is so near and dear to Maria's heart, is because she lives in Outworld. Okay, so Melina, she's the lizard woman. And that's her secret. I'm sure she's not a lizard woman. So, all right, here we go. Melina. Heir to Outworld's throne, born mere seconds ahead of, they're twins. Okay. Born mere seconds ahead of her twin sister, Melina is the rightful heir to Outworld's throne. But even so, there are those who distrust. Hang on. I want to start this over. Let's do our girl some justice here. Melina, heir to Outworld's throne. Born mere seconds ahead of her twin sister, Melina is the rightful heir to Outworld's throne. But even so, there are those who distrust Melina's impulsiveness. They whisper that Kitana, with her steadier hand, should replace Melina as heir to the throne. As Melina fights for legitimacy, she hides a horrible secret. She is infected with the dreaded and lethal Tarkat disease. Were her affliction found out, Melina would be forced into battle to save her throne. What is the Tarkat disease? She's got a mask on here, but right, like that's where like her face, she looks like Anne Hathaway from The Witches, right? Like her face like opens up and her tongue gets really long or something like that. So if she had, well, all right, this sounds like it would make for like a good book series. Did they ever make Mortal Kombat books? Because I'm like intrigued now, and I want to know what the Tarkat disease, how she got it, and why this would affect her ruling Outworld. Like, I don't even know anything about Outworld. Like, I'm like invested now. I don't want to watch a movie. I want to listen to a book. I'm going to have to find this out. I'd love to see one of your drawings depicting Scorpion reclaiming someone's spine. Did you? Well, I have done, for those that don't know, let me go find. I have done Mortal Kombat art before in a way that you would never imagine. Actually, I did it in a series where I did Summer of Art challenges. And let me see if I can find where they all are. Here we are, Summer of Art challenges. And I asked other people to pick the medium, the time frame, and the subject matter. And I did a Mortal Kombat one. And you guys should totally check it out. It was a very fun challenge. I'm not going to spoil the twist. But this was not a normal Mortal Kombat picture. It's nothing like you would ever imagine. And it's one of my more widely viewed videos on YouTube. Watch me craft a wild Mortal Kombat poster in 8 hours. You should totally check it out. It was a lot of fun. Lee, to let me know, I want to show some support, give it a like, and also comment below on that. And let's do a secret word club, shall we? Secret words. We should leave a secret word. So you have to leave a comment if you watch it. And how about why don't you write Toronto? Outworld. We're going to write Toronto, where Maria lives. You can write that. You can either write Toronto or where Maria lives. This is the secret code that lets me know you actually watched the show, the video. If you go into the comments section and write Toronto, Maria's Outworld home, Toronto. Tarkat disease with Jack. Well, yeah, sure, it jacked up her face, but what is it? What is it? They did a graphic novel. It's not, I don't know, it's not really reading. I think she is part of what Tarkat is, forgetting my lore. Yeah, I had that's so annoying that they made it a disease. Oh, it's not supposed to be a disease. The Tarkat is a relentless species up until the most recent. Oh, is it like a Goa'uld from Stargate or something? Melina is Katana's clone. She was spliced with a race of people that are prone to Tarkat disease of memory. So what? So the lore changed? How do you pronounce this? Liu Kang story is good. After reading about her, apparently Melina has a lot of secrets. Yes, Toronto. Watch the video and type Toronto. That lets me know that you know where Maria's secret outworld lair lies. Okay, well, let's see. What Katana, Melina, somebody said, what was his name? Liu Kang? Where's that? Is he in here? Oh, here he is. I don't know how to pronounce this. Liu Kang. God of fire. Having won control of the hourglass, Liu Kang restarted history. He neutralized the threats and dangers that had come before, crafting a new era in which all beings would have the opportunity to find peace. But that peace is now threatened by an enemy that Liu Kang could never have anticipated. It will take all of his wisdom and experience to save not only Earthrealm, but all of reality. See, this sounds like it'd make a really great book series. The lore is always changing. Okay. Was written part by Sweet Baby Ink. Oh. Johnny Cage. I know Maria had an issue with the casting of Lou. Okay. The casting of Johnny Cage for the upcoming film, but then she said it kind of made sense to her. Like many stars before him, Johnny became addicted to his fame. He came to measure his self-worth by his fans' adoration and their praise of him on social media. But with his star now fading, Johnny is fighting an uphill battle to remain relevant. He joins Liu Kang's Earthrealm champions, hoping that it will provide his career and his fame a desperately needed boost. If this isn't right now YouTube momentum, this could literally be like Jake Paul. Tell me this is not relatable in our current culture right now. Melina being Katana's clone is in the original timeline before. Oh, he changed. Oh no, is it kind of like the whole Marvel situation? Oh, accidentally erased her hand. Is that the universe, changing the universe and everything like that? Is that kind of what the situation is? All right, so then she's got these shing. No, okay. All right, let's focus. Something like it's got to be a little bit. Yeah, just like that. Something like this. And then multiverse. That's what I was thinking of, the multiverse. Okay, I'm thinking that the picture, now that I'm studying this, is AI generated, and I need and because her weapons are not making any sense. The science ain't sciencing. Yeah. I need to find a real. Hang on. Where did the roster? Bring back Kitana. There you are. Yeah, this makes a little more sense. At the end of Mortal Kombat 11, what? There's 11 video games. They reset time to defeat the final boss of that game. Isn't it that I heard that Mortal Kombat didn't originally have a what's it called? What is it undoing? There it is. It didn't have a story per se. Excuse me. That it had it was just like the fight, but there was not a lore. And I guess eventually they didn't realize that it was going to be as big as it is. And so they developed a story and a purpose behind the fighting system and the competition. Continuity. No. It always had a story. Oh, okay. I thought, did Maria lie to me? I thought she said that it didn't have like it was just about the competition. It wasn't necessarily that it had a story per se. It had a story. Okay, maybe I misunderstood her. It had a story. In the first game, each character had a screen that had a paragraph that told their backstory. Right. Okay. Well, so kind of like this, like it had a backstory to your character, but it didn't exactly have a story itself. It was just a fighting game, right? And the story was that they had to fight to win. Like that was the story. It wasn't like The Legend of Zelda where it had a whole, world and everything, right? It was just these characters. Here's a little bit of a backstory about this character, and they came to this place to fight, but there wasn't a whole thing behind it. That's, I guess, what I was understanding behind it. What do I know? The overarching story was centered around Liu Kang and Goro. Oh, okay. All right. So I'm like, Maria way off. I don't know. I may have misunderstood her. Wouldn't be my first time. She's not here to defend herself, so I can just say she's wrong. She lied to me. I don't know. It had a story, and the movie followed the main beats for the most part. Okay. Then maybe I'm mixing it up. Is it Street Fighter that didn't have one? I don't know. I thought I was told that one of these fighting games that they were starting to make these movies, and it was difficult for them to make these movies because they didn't really have plots besides just getting together and fighting. I don't know. I'm lost. I'm lost. This is what happens when you join into these franchises, like 20 years too late. And Street Fighter had a very loose story. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. I don't know. Maria, where you at? Stop working and answer the questions. People got to know. Nope, that's not the right length. Oh, my pencil giving out a little bit here. What's going on? What is right here? Maybe I need to replace my screen protector. I found them in a box yesterday. Oh, guys, you won't believe. I don't know if Tara Crystal's hanging out somewhere in there in the chat lurking, but you guys remember I had that fiasco about all of my different gloves. You'll notice I've got the cat stay. Shout out Tara Crystal for getting me my cat gloves. Because when I relocated my office area, I packed everything up. I yesterday just found the box with all of my gloves in them. So thankful. Street Fighter always had a story too. I don't know what these people are telling me that. I could have sworn Maria said that Mortal Kombat didn't really have a story. We're gonna have to bring her back on and talk about it, or you go over to her show and tell her she's wrong. I kind of like the idea that it would be more like this, but I'm thinking that that's too web-like versus like this. So it doesn't exactly look like her thing, but it's a loose translation. Loose. Do you guys have a favorite character? I guess I don't think I ever played Mortal Kombat. If I did, I'm trying to look at, these are newer characters. So whenever I did play Mortal Kombat, it was the older designs. So some of this is throwing me off. Let me see. Omni-Man, who the freak is? Peacemaker is part of Mortal Kombat? I thought he was a Marvel character. I didn't realize that. Wait a minute. What is this? Homelander is part of Mortal Kombat? Ghostface? Conan the Barbarian? What is this website? It's the Mortal Kombat website. These people are part of that universe too? Yeah, Sub-Zero and Scorpion, they were my brother's favorite too. Everybody's favorite. Let me see. Anybody look familiar? I think I used the guy that had the Cambodian hat and he wore pajamas. I think that was the guy that I kind of, if I did play, he was the guy that I played as. I don't know who that is though. Is he on the roster? This weird roster? Those are guest stars? What is this game? All right, who's the guy with the Cambodian or the Chinese rice hat that wears pajamas? What's his name? Is he here? Raiden. Okay, I think it might be Raiden. Yeah, okay. He looks very different from the original one that I looked at. So, yeah, Raiden, I think he was the guy that I tended to lean towards when I would play this game, but I did not play this game very often. I don't even remember what like his special abilities and things like that are. So, yeah. They've added other characters just for fun here, and the Mortal Kombat 10 had the Terminator and the Joker too. Wow. Dude. I think let's make it more like this. It doesn't look quite as fear whatever as it. Maybe I need another one that comes out. Oh shoot, I don't know why it's doing that. That's weird. Yeah, it looks a little bit more sinister, adding that fifth one. Definitely much better. Yeah. Let's see what's happening. Things are blowing up over there on the Twitter side. Everybody talking about Gina. Okay, people are disgusting. Anyway. Boys being boys. What are you gonna do? All right, sorry. You have my attention. Let's see. So, answer me this. Like I said, is her hair wrong? I'm trying to find her in the game. At least, is she in the original one, or was she a character that was added later? Because I don't see her. I see Sonya with the American flag behind her. Heck yeah! But I don't see. I'm gonna guess she wasn't part. That's crazy. Hey, now we aren't all pigs. This is true. These are just Twitter dudes, Twitter bros. I mean, I get it. She's hot, but you don't have to tell me that your body is reacting that way. Like, have some class. The hair changes all the time for sequels. To roll with it. Yeah, I like it. I like it. Especially, I'm not good at hair, so I feel like this part looks really great. So I'm just gonna go with it. It's what my reference looks like. Raiden is the god of lightning in the original. That makes total sense. I played as Pikachu a lot in Super Smash Brothers, so you know. I think I've still yet to play a game with Mo. Oh, that's not true. We played Fortnite. I bet Mo would be one of those kind of guys that plays Super Smash Brothers and he just gets the game face. And like I don't know. Mo, you remind me a little bit of my brother, like the nicest guy on earth. And then I don't know, you play the video games and it's like, it's competition time, baby. You're going down. Mo's good people. Okay. So I think we got that going, although something weird is happening to her arm over here. That's because I changed the... Let's see what it looks like. Ooh, that's terrible. That's disgusting. What is happening here? The over-explaining is a result of watching too many G&G live streams. The over-explaining? Of what? Me? I mean, I do know that I have a habit of repeating myself, but I'm working on it. Watch me play Mario Kart. You are correct. I'm very competitive. Finally fixed my filthy mouth a few years ago. Good for you. Good for you. No, you're right. Like, it is amazing how Mario Kart, like this childish game, brings out the rage in a person. Because the dumbest thing will throw you off track. I haven't played Mario Kart World in a hot minute because it's like, and I want to get back into it. I'll actually be discussing that with some of my friends here in the future, and maybe some of the members. Just throwing that out there. But like I kind of stopped. I had to like stop playing it because it's like this makes no sense. Like I don't understand how is everybody so good at this game? How is everybody so much faster than me? It's like they all drank like some kind of protein shake before they played their characters and they just take off. And it's like, wow, this is crazy. Oh, no, that the chat explaining what they're feeling when they see certain drawings. Oh. Hey, c'est la vie. Okay, so I think we're clean on that side. This finger is slightly bulbous, but I think that's okay because it is in the foreground. We might shrinky dink it a little bit. Just when the line work comes in, things will get a little bit more, delicate anyway. The gameplay is pretty good, but the level design is breathtaking. Yeah. What is it? Jeremy's like, well, at least the music's good. At least the music is good. What are you doing? I am drawing Kitana from Mortal Kombat. Mifku. Hope that's not a bad word. If it is, I apologize. We get a lot of freak geeks and weirdos over on the kick side. I'm not saying you are, please don't be one, but sometimes people put weird names up there. And I'm not trying to say yours is a weird name, but by American standards, I don't understand. So it's like I just gotta be careful. Some people are sneaky like that. But no disrespect intended. Hope you're having a great day. I'm an artist who primarily makes chibis. When is the new Mortal Kombat movie coming out, by the way? I have thought about watching the first one, but you guys know I do have certain preferences for, the movies that I watch. And your name is Mevluden. Ooh, from Serbia. Well, hello, welcome in. Do you know somebody from Serbia? I do. Her name was Mirjana. Her name is Mirjana. I do know somebody from Serbia. She gave me some very interesting insight to your country. I loved talking with her. She's an older lady, quite old by human standards. And she told me a lot about Serbian history and lots of other things. And it was a really great conversation. It was a really insight. Is she popular? No. She's just a wonderful, regular old average human being. She's very sweet, very kind, very giving. I have actually some coffee, like little espresso cups, that she gave me when I was in Germany. And they're little tiny ones and they have roses printed on the side. And then they came on little heart-shaped saucers. Oh, yeah. It was so interesting. She told us the history about her family that her father was what you would call a gypsy. She was like, we didn't have a lot of money and he would travel around town. She's like, it's not exactly how people would describe it in, the way that the fantasy books and stuff like that describe gypsies. But she said, he would travel from town to town or whatever, and he would go to the office buildings and he would try to sell things to the people that worked there. And they would sing and dance and do all the cool. It's such an insightful and very cool story into somebody else's culture and world. And it was really cool, really, really cool to listen to her talk about back in the day. And that was a long time ago. And now apparently that word is offensive. I'm like, hey, she told me, that's what she says, what she called herself. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? You never get in the line to get around the track the fastest. People are brutal, man. They are brutal in that game. No, she didn't call herself Romani. Oh shoot, what is happening? I think I need to switch out my screen protector because something weird is happening. Like it's erasing things that I didn't do. So okay. Yeah, like this line. I don't remember where this is. She didn't call herself Romani. She said that she was former Yugoslavian. Serbia being part of former Yugoslavia. So she calls herself Serbian. And she would tell us now things may have changed. She eventually immigrated to Germany, but she told us how because of the war and everything like that, the Cold War and all this difference and many different things that Serbians were very afraid of the Russians, as many people are, and that the idea of rebuilding the buildings that had been destroyed was never really on anybody's radar because of the fact that they were just always living in fear that the Russians would come back and destroy everything. And so you would find, I don't know if it's still true today. Our friend maybe could correct us. But back in her day, she was saying that they would just leave the buildings in shambles because they were too afraid to restore. In their opinion, it was like, what for? Because they believed that the Russians would come in at any time and reinvade the country. Like, oh, it's terrible. And then she just say how family and singing was such a big part of her culture. And that was how people kept themselves happy and close and brought them together and whatever like that. Just really, really interesting. Very, very interesting. Hopefully it's not like that today as far as the devastation and the ruin and being afraid of reconstructing and everything. But, yeah. Yeah, see, it's not recognizing the way that it should. I don't know what's happening. I just replaced the tip, so it might be the screen protector. It is not picking up the way that it's supposed to, and that is irritating because it's slowing down the process. Sometimes I might just have to restart the Procreate because, I do a lot of work here, and so sometimes it just needs to be having a refresh. See, that didn't work out the way it is. That being said, I'm gonna have to stop now because I can't work under these conditions. But thank you all for hanging out with me today. appreciate all of you. Nobody is live over on the Kick side at the moment, so I can't host over there, but I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much for being a part of today's brush hour. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to make it through because I'm like, whew, see you in 2 weeks. What's in 2 weeks? MegaCon's not in 2 weeks, is it? Oh, yeah. So next week, no brush hour. I will be visiting with family. I'll be traveling for a little bit for some work and for travel, for family. Got a birthday party to celebrate with a special little someone. And so it's going to be great, but I'll try to make sure that there's like some content to be uploaded. The members and the patrons will be taken care of. Consider becoming a member or a patron and supporting the artistic ecosystem. You'll get access to some exclusive vlogs, which I should be having a new one coming up here soon. And then, yes, a very special little someone, my niece. Then there's going to be some new sketches that are going to be uploaded to Patreon and things like that as well. Have fun with your family, but you are ruining my Monday and Tuesday. I love to hear it. Hey, I've got plenty of little videos that you can watch and binge on Monday and Tuesday of next week if you so choose. I would love if you did. That would make me smile knowing that people saw either how far I've come or some of the cool artwork that I've done. Check out the playlist for my summer art challenges. I think you should, just because, like I said, you can see how far I've come. And then you can also, excuse me. You can, are you not able to share playlists? That kind of sucks. Like a link to a playlist. That'd be really cool. You go to my playlist and you'll see my summer art challenges. I got to feature a whole bunch of people in there. Krista, D-Day Cobra, Comics and Everything, The Maker's Den, Epic Mike. They were all part of it. Who else? I forget. Mark with a C. Excuse me. Let's see who else was there. Some voice actors and all that kind of cool stuff. And it was fun. It was fun. Yeah, Summer of Art challenges. I just don't know how to save or I can't. No, Know Me Without You. Dr. Rachel. Yeah, and I disappointed Nomi. Surprise, surprise. So, And I'm still alive. Yeah, I'm about to be done, though. I've got some stuff that I need to do. And then, yeah, if you do go over and watch the Mortal Kombat video, be sure to leave the special secret word Toronto to let me know that you believe Maria lives in the outer world. Or, that's just how it is. You expected nothing and you're still just, I know, story of my life. I'm sorry, Mom and Dad. I'll try to be better. I'll try to do better. Anyway, you guys are amazing in my life. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I leave you with a little something, something.